all and how your February went. If you have been here before, welcome back, and if you are new, welcome to my channel. This is Mansi from Readers and Creators. In today's video, I'm gonna talk about all the books I got in month of January and February, and this is my first book haul of 2021, and I'm so excited to tell you about all the books I purchased, their prices, books I got from Unhaul, books I got from publisher, or books I got as a gift. So without any further delay, let's dive into our video. Also, I have opened all the packages because I can't wait for this day to shoot and open them in front of camera. But I repacked them so I can pretend to open that in front of camera. Smart me, I know. Okay, the first book I got, pretending to open, is Undertow by Janvi Barua. And this is fiction. This got published in 2020, and this one I got as a gift from one of my friends because he knew that I wanted this book. Now, there are some books I want to read because of their mind-blowing reviews by great persons, either in newspaper or Amazon or anywhere else. And there are some books I want to read for their movie adaptation. And there are some books I want to read because they are so much hyped on Bookstagram. This falls right into third category. Well, I read this book. I talked about this in my January TBR video, in my January wrap-up video, and yeah, this is good. This displays the patriarchy of Indian society. This represent in some manner the typical Indian family, daughter, parents, granddaughter, parent, and the eternal nature of love. And yeah, this was good, but I can't just keep this in my best reads category. This is average read for me. Also, the mention of Brahmaputra throughout the book is so alluring. I just want to see that river, and yeah, so that's it. Second is The White Tiger. I got from Flipkart for ₹187, and this is by Arvind Adiga. This got published in 2008 and won the Man Booker Prize in 2008, and this is debut novel by the author. I mean, I am amazed every single time a debut author got Booker's Prize or Pulitzer Prize and like that. I'm like, oh my god, I have to read him or her. So this book, I wanted to have this book from a long time, but I got this when its movie adaptation came out because I was so afraid that all the memes and movie reviews and people who talk non-stop about movies they watched recently will spoil my curiosity or interest in this book. So I got this, I read this, this is good. This is, you know, this falls in the genre picturesque novel. I read this on Google, and you know what's picturesque novel? It's picturesque novel is the story where the hero is mostly from low class and it is somewhat realistic in nature despite being fictional. So the protagonist Balram Halwai is from that, and this story, everyone won't relate to this story because some people might take it as a hit on being Indian, but some will just accept because that's what India is. This tells about servant, owner, rich, poor, class, caste, everything in a form of a story about politics, about corruption and loyalty. So I seriously liked this book, but I finished it in more than 7 days because of my schedule and all that. And when you are so engrossed in a story and you get to read only 2 pages per day, 3 pages per day, 4 pages, the whole essence of a story just goes away, and that happens with it. So I might reread it, but for now the story I know, and if I aggregate the whole experience of reading this book, it's good. Next are 2 books, Lajja and Man's Searching for Meaning. Let's talk about Lajja first. Okay, Lajja is by Taslima Nasreen. This I got from Flipkart for ₹268. This was published in 1993. and she is Bangladeshi writer, and this book was originally written in Bengali, later translated into English, and this is about anti-Hindu riots which occur in Bangladesh after the demolition of Babri Masjid. So this is interesting and I want to read, I want to know. This is fictional though, but I think I will get to know more about that period, about that incident, and about things. Also, it was banned in Bangladesh after being published, and I think controversial books have a totally different place in my heart. I mean, I've read 2 or 3 controversial books and they have been mind-blowing. So I'm gonna read this and I'm so excited to read this. Next is Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. And Viktor Frankl is a psychologist. This is his memoir or biography. Finally a non-fiction. Well, this was originally published in 1946. This I got for rupees 168 from Flipkart, and the author write about his experience in while he stayed in Nazi concentration camp during World War II, and as the name suggests, he finds a purpose or a meaning of life, and he clung on to that positivity, to that hope while he lived there, while he witnessed all the brutality, while he suffered, and then he came out of that. So it's his experience. And yeah, this was originally written in German language. It's also a translation. So yeah, I'm curious to read this one. Next is Lost by Siddharth Dhanwant Sangvi. This one I got from Avid Learning, who organized a writing seminar where the author and Avid Learning and a host from HarperCollins, Nonita Karla, they all talked about the importance of writing, the tips of writing and all that. I registered in that seminar and I wanted to learn about writing, and I got this as a gift. I am so grateful for that. And this is a great book. I've already read this. This is so pretty, first of all, and I say this in all my videos. This is also anthology of essays, a non-fiction, and author wrote about his personal loss in life after he lose his parents and pet and all this. This is filled with intense words, emotions, and this book can be concluded in just one line, that this is sort of a therapy of grief. So yeah, it's intense but it's good. The words are brilliant, they just play with you. So this is a great book. Next is Mahavira, The Conqueror of the Self, which I got from Hatchet India, and this is also published in 2020, and this is an spiritual book, and yeah, I've already read this one too. This tells about this facts and basic knowledge of Jainism, and it's a story of 24th Tirthankar Mahavir. And the interesting thing about this book is this is told in a fictional way, where Mahavir's daughter Priyadarshini narrates the story. This just keep you intrigued in it. This is about self-realization, controlling emotions, and all the things people try to find in self-help books. You can find it in it, and this tells you about Jain dharms along with it. So I think you should read this one. People who are a fan of self-help books, go and get this. Next are 2 books I got from an unhaul, and okay, these books I paid just for their shipping charges, and that was just 52. So I am so grateful for these books. These are perfectly in new condition. First is Oleander Girl by Chitra Banerjee Divakarni, and I got this just because of this author, because I read The Palace of Illusions last year and that was fantastic. So I have to read one more book by the author. It's a romance novel, and this is about an orphan girl who lives with her grandparents, and just the silence of her dead parents clings her to their one and only inheritance. She found unfinished love letters in her mother's poetry book, and just the blurb and the review fascinates me. So I am so excited to read this, and I am a huge fan of Chitra Divakarni. So let's see. Second one which I got from the unhaul is The Oath of Vayuputra. I got this only because I have two books from this trilogy, Meluha and Nagas, and I want to complete the trilogy, although I am not reading any of it. Well, I have committed myself in my video 21 books I want to read in 2021 that I will read this trilogy. If not the whole trilogy in this year, I will start with the first one. But let's see. Next is Lumi, the little book of life, the garden of the soul, and how pretty this is. And this I purchased from Amazon for rupees 218. And Rumi, yeah, we are already his fan without even reading all his works. I was so curious and interested in reading Rumi's personal works after reading few parts of his works in Elif Shafak's The 40 Rules of Love last year. And this is a pretty book. Also, this includes 936 poems. Can you imagine? 936 poems. And one more wonderful thing about this book is it got published on 1st September 2012. 1st September is my birthday. So I'm already in love with this book for its cover, for its publication dates, and for its Rumi. Next is Shaggy Bane, which I got from Amazon for rupees 250, and this is by Douglas Stewart. You all must know about this. This one's the last year Booker's Prize, and it's a gay literature and coming of age story. So I am just fascinated to read this one because I have heard great things about this book from many bookstagrammers I seriously admire and inspire. So I have to read this one, and this looks so nice. Yeah. Next is the one I got from Unhaul again, but for this I paid rupees 150. This is Beloved by Toni Morrison, and Toni Morrison, I haven't read any of her works, but I am already in love with her. Does that happen with you? If you haven't read any work by any author, but you still love that author? Well, this happens with me. I love Toni Morrison, and I'm gonna start with Beloved because Beloved is recommended by so many people. This is historical fiction and magical realism set in during the time of American Civil War. And yeah, Toni Morrison, I'm gonna read you finally. Next is Happy Hour by Marlo Granados, and this is urban fiction. This I got from Natalie Ark, and this book has a brilliant young cocky protagonist. And I have been watching The Vampire Diaries from past 2 months, and I have a totally different attraction for brilliant young cocky protagonist. You know who I'm talking about, Damon Salvatore. Well, that's why this book seriously fascinates me, just because of the description of its protagonist. I don't know much about this. Okay, so I got 12 books in January and February, and I have read 4 out of it already. I think I will read all the 12 by the end of 2021. So yeah, that's it. That's the book haul, and I will come up with more videos about TBR and rep and all that. And also, do you miss my library? Because I miss it. I always miss when I shoot somewhere else, but for some reason I couldn't shoot there, so I have to shoot it here. Well, so yeah, just let's be done with this one, and meet you next Wednesday. Till then, keep reading, be happy, and enjoy. Bye bye.